Mass tomorrow at 11, and a reception is going to follow at Charlotte Motor Speedway. USC back to normal this morning after an active shooter scare. Last night, students got an alert about a possible shooter near the library. 40 minutes later, officials announced there was no evidence of a gunman. A few students were hurt while evacuating, but are expected to be okay. Tonight's Powerball jackpot up to a staggering $750 million, the 10th largest in history, the biggest so far this year. If you win, you get a choice between the $750 million lump sum or $338 million in cash. Tonight's drawing happening at 11.
And it's busy out there already. This is I-85. You can see traffic is really starting to build. Want to take you out to I-85 specifically because this is actually an accident. We have an accident on I-85 southbound North Graham Street. That's exit 40. It's backed up 2 miles right now to exit 42. So we don't have a blocked lane. It's just moving rather slowly. So make sure you allow for a little extra drive time for that morning commute. Chris?
And weather not an issue. Happy to say that. 86 degrees today is actually the warmest high that we have over the next 7. Back to the lower 80s heading for the next few days. Rain chances on hiatus till Friday.
And all morning long, we've been asking you to share your back to school photos. Here's a look at some of the ones you've sent in so far. We realize you're sort of juggling 1,000 things right now this morning, so we appreciate the ones who've been able to send them in. Keep them coming. We'll be sharing them throughout the morning over on WCNC Plus as well. Text them 704-329-3600. And a reminder, the news does not end here. Coming up on WCNC Plus, we're going to check in with Lisa again as she gets her kids out the door on their first day of school. Plus, after our big Clear the Shelters push this weekend, we're going to tell you how many pets have a new forever home. And an update on those reports about that active shooter at USC last night. Those stories and a lot more coming your way on WCNC Plus. We'll see you over there. Have a fantastic first day of school.
Woo.
Streaming live right now at 7 a.m. on WCNC Plus, and a live picture right now of the CMS school bus yard over in West Charlotte this morning. Be careful. A lot of those school buses are going to be hitting the roads in the next few minutes. Today, the first day of school for CMS, Union County, Anson, Hickory, and Caldwell County as well. Thanks for starting your Monday morning with us here. I'm Ben Thompson. Lisa is actually at home. She's been live with us all morning long as she does what so many parents out there this morning do. Get the kids up and ready and out the door. We're going to check in with her in just a minute. But first, let's get a check of your first day of school forecast with Chris.
Not too bad.
Not too bad at all.
Outside.
Yeah, no, it seriously, it could be really wet. We could have a really hot, oppressive day, but instead it's almost like the baby bear's porridge, just right. So parents, kids, back to school forecast looking A-OK. We just have a mix of cloud and sunshine to begin the day. We have 70 degrees for a starting point right around Charlotte, 72 for you in Monroe, and then 65 degrees over in Lincolnton. But we have had some on and off low areas of visibility, so just keep that in mind. Now, I don't think it's an issue really anymore. Those spots are really disappearing, and then the lowest that we had seen really on and off has been in Gaston County, now up to a 4. So it just might look a little bit cloudier up above, but many of us dealing with a sky that looks like this in the background. So your bust up forecast. 70 now, jumping into the lower to the mid 70s over the next couple of hours, depending on when you are heading back to school. And then by the time you get to the afternoon, high temperatures in the mid 80s when the kids are getting home. Now, I have to bring up this point. Now, I don't like to be the bearer of bad news, but this is actually the last sunset time that I'm going to have at 8 o'clock for quite some time. The next time that we're going to have a sunset time at or after 8 p.m., April 20th. So, oof. And then eventually we're going to have this in the 7 o'clock hour until about the mid to late part of October, but we won't jump ahead to that just quite yet. Now, over the next 36 hours, two things have happened over the weekend. Number one, we had a cold front that moved through and brought us some rain. But number two, that cold front also shifted the winds, allowing for some slightly drier air today. But it's numero dos, the second cold front that pushes through that's actively happening right now, that's going to lead to a more fall-like pattern. Now, it's only going to bring us down by about 5 degrees, but to me, all the difference. Behind this, we still have enough moisture in the mid-levels to provide some clouds along a low pressure system. So today we're at 86, feeling a little bit sticky. And then tomorrow, bust out the pumpkin spice, y'all, because 81 degrees, and we're going to be right around that 80-degree point, but really it's our lows that are going to take the biggest hit. Also, we're going to take a nice little break from the rain because it is so dry. We don't have any major players or any storm systems rolling in. And then by your Friday and for your Labor Day weekend, we'll have a chance for an isolated storm to return. But this is what I love to show you, how it's going to feel. So today's on the stickier end, but really it's no problem. That oh so nice, comfortable air range by your Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Wednesday right now, by the way, is my pick of the week. That day is going to bring a cooler start to the day, but it's going to feel the best and just a great day overall. I think it has the most sunshine as well. Overnight tonight, we see the change in our lows, first starting in the mountains. Look at this. 49 degrees, 63 degrees around Charlotte, and then 58 degrees in Salisbury. And then we could be as low as the upper 50s on Thursday morning. That does include Charlotte. That means well into the 40s for the mountains. Dare I even say near 40 the higher you go up. For our 7-day forecast, well, the lower 80s taking over Tuesday through Thursday, and then Friday is still going to be in that range as well, but they will have a chance for a developing afternoon storm. Back to the mid 80s on Saturday, but all in all, this is a below average trend. We should be around 88 degrees for our highs, 68 degrees for our lows, but as you can see, we're mainly in the lower 80s and the lower 60s, so well below normal, certainly feeling more September-like for the last days of August. Let's get right over to Majestic for your morning commute. How's it looking?
Good morning. So far, so good. We are following a few things that you're going to want to know. It's been pretty quiet this morning, but just over the last 5 to 10 minutes, we do have a new accident. Here's I-85. This is Graham Street. Now, you can't see much right there. That's our closest camera to the accident that I am following for you. It's right here. It's on I-85 south at Graham Street, exit 40, backed up to exit 42. So just a few minutes ago, this was all in red, but right now we're seeing more of those yellows and oranges, meaning that traffic is still able to get through. It's not totally blocked or anything like that. It might just add on a few extra minutes to that morning commute, so plan accordingly. Otherwise, if you're heading in from I-85 to the west, you can see between between Gastonia and Belmont. Those typical delays are ongoing now. Not an accident, just more people heading in the same direction. This is a unique thing. It's going to be ongoing today and even into tomorrow. Right now, traffic signals, they are flashing at Parkwood Ave East at 16th Street. So you just need to pay attention as you're heading out and as you're traveling from areas like South End over towards Noda. Things are looking great for all those students who are waking up for their very first day of school. I-77 coming in from York County. We're starting to see some delays there as well. Again, no accidents, just more people waking up and heading in the same direction. Those are the things I'm watching for now. Coming up in just a few minutes, we'll take a look at those drive times for that Monday morning commute. Ben.
Majestic, thanks. 7:05 right now. Hard to believe summer's now over for a lot of students as of this morning. Many of you up early today for the first day of school, and it's not just CMS heading back today either. WCNC Charlotte's Richard Devane now live in Union County this morning, where families are getting ready for that first day as well. And I see behind you, Richard, the drop-off line.
That is absolutely correct, Ben. Good morning to you. Good Monday morning, everyone. Yeah, a lot of students, their summer ends. A lot of parents are, some parents are celebrating actually the end of summer right now for their kids as kids are being dropped off. We're here at Weddington Elementary School where parents are dropping off the kids. The sounds blasting through the speakers. Money playing now just a few minutes ago. Don't Stop Believing, as some 41,000 students are returning to school, first day of school here in Union County. 5,000 teachers excited as well. This is a big day. There's a lot of new things happening at the district, a lot of new innovations, laptops throughout the district. There's a lot of new programs. This music has even got our photographer, Ruben Wallace, dancing all morning. He's been dancing around. We can tell you, Lisa had an opportunity to sit down with the superintendent and Dr. Andrew Houlihan. We speak to him every year. Today's an exciting day. He talked about some of the biggest things that we need to remember, especially for everybody, most importantly parents, to consider as we start school for the first day and for the rest of the year. Take a listen to what he said.
Number one, we've had a lot of change over the summer. We're introducing a brand new student information system called Infinite Campus. That is a statewide purchase that all districts are implementing. There will be challenges with that. With any new rollout of any SIS, there's going to be kinks that we have to work out. So I would just say on that end, number one, as a parent, go claim your account, right? That gets you access to your child's grade book, attendance, bus routes, emergency contact. Number two, I would say we always start the year off with a lot of traffic on the roads. Union County has got to get a better infrastructure in terms of our roads and our roadways. So be patient with us as you see buses on the route. Students are driving to school. That's always a challenge. And then I think the third one is stay involved. Get involved with your child, with your local school. We have phenomenal parent organizations. We're trying to grow those in a lot of our Title I communities, but we want parents to be engaged. We want our communities to be engaged. We have a lot of great programs that can help you do that.
Yeah, just some great advice for the school year. See a lot of parents excited, a lot of students excited for the first day of school right here in Union County, Weddington Elementary. Of course, the superintendent will be visiting a number of schools today. We'll be hanging out as well, bringing you all of the fun and excitement. Reminds me of my first day. I won't go into that. Anyway, Ben, we're going to send it back to you.
Yeah, I don't think we ever had hype music as we arrived at school there in the bus lane. I'm a little jealous.
No.
Right? Never had hype music. What time does the first bell ring there?
We're not far from the first bell. The actual time, I forgot the actual time. Hold on a second. While we're dancing, what time is the first bell? Come on,
First bell
7:25 first bell. And the starting bell is 7:30. So we've got a little bit of time, just a few minutes beforehand. I'm going to dance off now.
All right. Hey, please. Entertainment there for the kids as well. Hype music and Richard Devane. What else could they ask for? Richard, thanks, sir. Appreciate it. And right about now, the bell ringing for a lot of CMS schools as well. About an hour ago, Superintendent Dr. Crystal Hill gave the first update of the school year. She says so far, things are going well.
But we've worked really hard to make sure that our schools are warm, they're welcoming, they're inviting. I've challenged our school teams to make sure that the first day is not just first day excitement, but to make every single day just like the first day of school. So we just want to tell parents we're ready, we're excited, our schools are safe, and we cannot wait to see them this morning.
And coming up at 7:30 right here on WCNC Plus, Destiny Richards is going to break down the many changes for this year, including the new CMS apps for parents and students to download. All right, well, we know the first day of school can be busy for a lot of families, and we know that because we're doing it right beside you this morning. That's right, Lisa is actually live inside her home all morning long, getting her kids up. She fed them breakfast about 45 minutes ago, and now you got to get them out the door in the next few minutes, right?
Yes, so we need to get out of the door soon. But here's the thing, Ben. Caleb can't find his watch. Can you have smart watches at school? They have to be off and in your backpack. You just heard us mention that, but yet he can't find it. So that's what we're waiting on now. In the meantime, I am filling the water bottles because they can't fill them at school apparently. Did you find it, buddy? Not yet. All right, we'll keep looking because we got to go soon. Filling the water bottles. They finished breakfast. We have the snacks. We have a sweater in case it gets cool in class. And after we get everything on and together, we're going to head down to the car and get ready for the drive to school. Again, 2 kids, 2 schools. First stop is middle school. Second stop is elementary school. So we're trying to get it together, wrap things up. In case you were wondering, if you were watching earlier, the shorts are dry. So we now have on shorts and not jeans for my son. But that's how things are going.
Roll with the punches, including lost watches. It's all part of the first day. All right, keep us posted. I know you're going to get out the door here soon, so keep us posted on how it's going. Fingers crossed. So far, so good. And folks at home, make sure you send us your back to school photos this morning. These are a few of the ones we've been getting just in the last few minutes. Text us 704-329-3600. We'll be showing them all morning long right here on WCNC Plus. Keep it here. We're back in 2 minutes. Approaching 7:15 right now on WCNC Plus, and this morning students at the University of South Carolina breathing a sigh of relief after reports of a possible active shooter on campus turned out to be false. Last night, students received a Carolina alert about a possible active shooter near the library. About 40 minutes later, the university determined there was no evidence of a shooter. The campus community sheltering in place for more than an hour until an all clear was given. Students describing those moments as chaotic just a week into the fall semester.
To think that it's also in the library and just thinking it's on campus, do you think campus is a safe haven? You know, you want to come to campus to get your education, to get this, that, and the third. But, knowing that, there's an active shooter on campus, everybody's, not wondering and not expecting for this to happen. So just understanding that, there's people that...
Now to Washington, D.C., some National Guard units have started carrying firearms. The Associated Press says reporters saw members of the South Carolina National Guard outside Union Station with handguns as they continue to patrol that area. Well, this as President Trump weighs sending National Guard troops to other cities, including Chicago. NBC's Randy Gyllenhaal has more on the Illinois response, as the locals are wondering if the move is really necessary.
On this summer night in downtown Chicago, bustling crowds.
How do you feel in Chicago walking around?
I feel very safe. It's like lovely. The weather's good.
And no sign of invasion, unrest, or civil emergency.
Do you feel safe in Chicago?
I've been here for just over a week now, and I haven't had any problem.
I don't think that we need military in Chicago, New York, D.C.
But President Trump said he will deploy the National Guard here to fight crime.
Chicago's a mess. You have an incompetent mayor, grossly incompetent, and we'll straighten that one out probably next. And the people in Chicago, Mr. Vice President, are screaming for us to come. They're wearing red hats, just like this one, but they're wearing red hats. African-American ladies, beautiful ladies, are saying, please, President Trump, come to Chicago.
The president could federalize the Illinois National Guard, but it would require something like an insurrection or massive unrest, all while Chicago is seeing shootings and homicides down 30%.
We still see an unacceptably high number of robberies, carjackings, burglaries, break-ins. We have work to do, but we need help that makes sense. The Federal National Guard isn't going to make a difference in carjacking in Chicago. So again, if he really wanted to help, we're short 2,000 police officers. Unfortunately, that is not what Trump is talking about.
Illinois' governor, who commands the Guard, said Trump's goal is to incite fear in our communities and destabilize existing public safety efforts, all to create a justification to further abuse his power. Chicago's mayor said unlawfully deploying the National Guard to Chicago has the potential to inflame tensions between residents and law enforcement.
At the end of the day, what's to stop him? So far, there's been very little to stop him. And if he thumbs his nose at the Constitution, we haven't seen Congress do it. We haven't seen the Supreme Court do it. So he may just do whatever he wants to do and see if he can get away with it.
We'll keep you posted what happens there. We're back here in 2 minutes on WCNC Plus.
Welcome back, everybody. All right, so let's talk highs. 86 degrees for today, and a beautiful sky, by the way, off in the distance. Check it out. That's our Dallas camera, about 1,500 feet up in the atmosphere. 86 is actually going to be the warmest high that we have going forward. Yes, they did hit 88, so technically that's going to be the warmest we'll have for quite some time because temperatures are about to head the opposite direction. 72 right around Boone as well. For your evening out forecast, not too bad. We'll have a mixed cloud and sunshine as that sun is setting on 8 o'clock on the dot. And then overnight tonight, check this out, down into the lower 60s, 66 around Chirraw, 49 for you in Boone. So the word crisp is being used to really describe most of these mornings going forward. It looks like the absolute bottom could be Thursday, dropping down to 59 degrees and lower 60s taking over the next 10 days. Our precipitation chance also fairly low, just a chance for an isolated storm starting again on Friday. So that means most of this week staying dry, and we'll keep a isolated storm chance around for your Labor Day weekend and Labor Day. The good news here is it's not really going to wash anything out because we're actually heading into a nice drier trend because of this cold front. This cold front will eventually drag in that drier air. A couple of systems hanging along the shoreline, keeping some clouds around as well. But as I mentioned, today's the top, 86 degrees before we're back to the lower 80s. We'll take another comeback to the mid 80s on Saturday, but certainly well below normal over the next 10 days for our highs and lows. Majestic, what do you got to tell us about our morning commute? Good morning to you, by the way.
Good morning, everyone. Well, it's a big back-to-school day, that's for sure. People are taking their kids to class, heading off to work, doing what they got to do, and we have a few things to let you know about. This is I-85. You can tell traffic has increased just a bit, just within the last 10 to 20 minutes as more people are actually up and out on those roads. New accident this morning. It's right here. Not good when we see all of that red. You can see it here, though. Lane is blocked because of this incident. It's on Grand Palisades Parkway at Highway 49 on York Road. That's out towards Lake Wiley, so even going over Lake Wiley and heading northbound. We'll keep a close eye on that for you as well. This one is clearing. I-85 south at North Graham Street, exit 40, where there is an accident, backed up about a mile or two around exit 42, but it's looking a lot better than it was just about 10 minutes ago. It was completely red with that stop and go traffic, but it seems like traffic is flowing a little better. If you're heading inbound on I-85, those typical slowdowns are starting. We'll have another check on those roads coming up here in just a few. Ben.
Fantastic, thanks. This week's service is being held to remember legendary NASCAR promoter Humpy Wheeler. Wheeler was a longtime president of the Charlotte Motor Speedway, putting it on the map as one of the best venues in racing. This evening, a vigil, rosary and eulogy will be held at St. Gabriel Catholic Church starting at 5:30, and then tomorrow his funeral set for 11 a.m. and a reception will follow at, appropriately, Charlotte Motor Speedway. 7:23 right now. You know, a lot of you folks, we want to say thank you because you came out and helped us clear the shelters this weekend. WCNC Charlotte teamed up with Charlotte Mecklenburg Animal Care and Control to help pets find forever homes. And thanks to you, more than 80 pets were adopted and hundreds more found homes through participating shelters and rescues across the greater Charlotte area. Great to see, Larry. I know you were out there this
what
weekend.
A day! I'm telling you, it was amazing. The weather was great. That was fantastic.
Yes.
And so many people came out. One interesting part of that whole process is the people who foster animals, dogs and cats. Normally, you don't see them because they're not at the shelter. So they all came out, and a number of those were adopted. So the foster cats were adopted.
Fantastic.
Lots of cats. And interesting. They had cats, dogs, 4 fish, a goat.
Fish?
Rabbits and 2 gerbils, yeah.
What?
4 fish for the first time ever in the
Wow,
history.
did they get adopted?
They have a staycation. So but anyway, thanks to all the people that came out. There were 11 shelters that participated and cleared the shelters, and hundreds of cats and dogs, other animals were adopted. And thanks to everybody who came out to Animal Care and Control over on Byram Drive. It was a beautiful day, and just had a chance to meet a lot of people. A lot of those special pets were adopted. It's
something we've been doing now for 10 years, and it's one of our very favorite community initiatives.
Without a doubt. You know, those shelters are still packed with lots out there, so they'll be available. And by the way, Humane Society of Charlotte on Friday, we're over there. And Anala, who had been a tail wagger, I was on the air, and a guy walked up and said, "Well, that's the dog I want." Adopted immediately like that.
Hey, love to see it.
So thanks to everybody.
And to your point, still plenty of pets out there that can be adopted. All right, folks, let's go to live pictures right now over Uptown on your Monday morning, first day of school for a lot of folks out there. Keep it right here on WCNC Plus.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to school. Those that are heading back to school, some of you have already been doing this for a few weeks now. And then you can see off yonder in the distance, beautiful blue skies. Still dealing with a mix of cloud and sunshine. We'll be dealing with on and off throughout today. 66 starting point right around Hickory, 59 for you in Boone. And then we'll eventually jump up into the mid 80s for the warmest day of the week going forward. Rainfall chances actually pretty low to nothing over the next few days. Staying dry for your Monday through Thursday. Isolated storm chances pop back up again on Friday. But check it out. Temperatures dropping down to the lower 80s for your Tuesday through Friday forecast. Back to the mid 80s this coming Saturday. But all in all, a great looking one, and even a low of 59 degrees for a cool, crisp start to your Thursday. Definitely feel more like September compared to the last days of August. Let's get over to Majestic for your morning commute.
All right, good Monday morning. Back to school we go. This is I-77 here at exit 90. That's Carowinds. You can see traffic is flowing just fine. If you're waking up and joining us in South Carolina, good morning to you. North Carolina, definitely busy, but no major problems. The one accident on I-85 that we've been talking about has since been cleared. All eyes on this one now, though. A lane is blocked because of it. It's on Grand Palisades Parkway on Highway 49 there over towards Lake Wiley. Allow for a few extra minutes to get to where you need to be.
Streaming live right now at 7:30 right here on WCNC Plus. I'm Ben Thompson, and you see right here my colleague Lisa Washington this morning. There she is. On the way to school this morning. We've been following her all morning long from the time that she woke up this morning, got the kids out of bed, fed them breakfast, and now, Lisa, now you are en route to school.
So, Ben, we are so on time. This is such a good thing. We are 3 minutes away from our first stop, which is middle school, of course, and things are going really well. A little bit of nerves, of course, that's to be expected going to a new school first day, but I think we're feeling good. You feeling good? You excited? Are you more excited or are you more nervous? More nervous. Okay, but you got this. You can do hard things and you can tackle middle school. Caleb, Bud, how you doing back there? Good. Are you excited or nervous about going back to school? Excited? Do you have your backpack? Yes. You have your shorts on? Yes. You brushed your teeth? Yes. All right, all good. So there you go, Ben. We are 3 minutes away from the school. We should arrive on time. The traffic is not as bad as I thought it was going to be, so that's a very good thing. Someone was kind enough to let us in. Now, we haven't gotten into the drop-off line yet. That's when things can change. They typically are a bit long, but we'll see how it goes. Again, on the way, our first stop is middle school, and our second stop is elementary school.
So you've got 2 stops this year.
2 stops this year. Last year I had 1. This year I have 2. And here's the thing, right? So I don't typically do this because, I'm sitting beside you in the early mornings, but I do the afternoon pickup. Now I have to do that as well today.
Wow. And at least from outsiders' point of view, Lisa, it seems like things went swimmingly this morning. I mean, Caleb lost his watch there for a second and decided he wanted a different outfit this morning, which I can understand. That's understandable. But it seems like things went smoothly.
Things went smoothly. All right, Ben, can you see this? I don't know if our photographer Phil can show this to you. So we are 0.6 miles away from school. This is the line for drop-off.
Wow.
Right? So what should take, Caleb, don't mess with the camera, please. What should take us 2 minutes is now going to take a bit more than 2 minutes. I mean, if you can see the orange here on the map. So that's not going to be 2 minutes. But the good thing is we have plenty of time because we need to be there before 8. Because as the instruction said, 8 is what, Reagan? 8 is late. Be on time. I think we're good. But this is the line of traffic for drop-off.
All right, so parents watching this is what you're going to face as you take your kids back to school this morning. Expect lines and get there early if possible. All right, Lisa, be safe. Best of luck to the kids on their first day. We'll check back in with you coming up in just a bit. Well, as you see, it is a big day across our area for families and moms and dads as well. Today's the first day of school for several districts, including CMS. WCNC Charlotte's Destiny Richards now live this morning as kids get ready to head back. And Destiny, we heard from the superintendent earlier this morning.
That's right. Here at the CMS bus lot, we already had that early fleet of buses head out to drop off kids or pick up kids and drop them off to school. We did hear from district leaders. They talked all about transportation readiness ahead of the school year, as well as some important updates that families will need to know, not just ahead of the first day, but to carry them throughout the entire school year. And these are some things that you can find online right now on the CMS website. They have a 10 things to know list, and it's really useful just to carry you through the whole year. One of the biggest changes that they talked about today was cell phone policy. So starting this school year, cell phones and personal devices must be turned off and put away during class to reduce distractions. That's for all students. And then CMS is also using some new information systems. Infinite Campus is really important for grades, assignments, attendance, and schedules. And then for alerts, parents should check Parent Square. This is an app that will send out notifications by text or email. And then Transportation Executive Director Delvicchio Dunn was here this morning. He talked a little bit about bus drivers. So they have 98 bus driver vacancies right now, but they said it shouldn't interfere with student routes. And Superintendent Hill talked about she addressed families who have children taking the bus this year. Here's what she had to say.
We ask all of our families to be patient with us, just like we are every year, the first day of school, the first couple of days of school, as we get into the new rhythm. But we are excited, we are ready, and we are prepared.
And speaking of the new rhythm, I know there may have been some changes with registering. I know that
Yeah, so a lot of questions asked this morning about the cell phone policy, about buses, and if they're prepared. But yeah, that's a big thing every single year. They always talk about having patience, especially at the beginning, that first week of school. Here Comes the Bus app is another important technology tool to have to track your child's bus rides in real time. So that's a good thing to have. Just a lot of technology upgrades going into this new school year. And of course, we have everything families need to know in this story on the WCNC Charlotte News app. I'll send it back to you, Ben.
All right, Destiny, thank you. We appreciate that. 7:36, of course, the biggest thing probably about back to school is the forecast and how it's going to be this morning, and also when the kids get out this afternoon, Chris.
And it's going to be even better when the kids get out, because this is our start. Check it out. Just depends where you are. Some areas seeing a little bit more cloud cover than others, but that's not a complaint by any stretch of the imagination. Absolutely breathtaking across the Queen City and venturing further off towards the northwest as well. Seeing Monroe, beautiful blue skies there around Lake Norman as well. And then Dallas just showing some of those fair weather cumulus clouds. Our visibilities have also improved. We do see a few drop-offs down to about 4 or 5 miles. That's not a big issue there. Even though you see a perfect 10 around Albemarle, we have seen some flourishing fog right around Stanley County, but nothing's really been a big deal breaker for our morning. We're at 70 degrees right now, so likely it's going to be our low. Maybe we had a temporary visit to 69 degrees. We haven't really seen the newest update for the 7 o'clock hour. And 66 degrees right around Lincoln, 64 around Statesville. And this is actually going to be warm compared to where we're going to go. You can expect those lows to really start to warm up pretty nicely from that bottom that we had. And then the mid 70s by about 9 a.m. by the time the kids are getting home, about 85 degrees to get outside and enjoy. So we were talking a lot last week about what was happening in the Outer Banks, and we are starting to see some improvement. Still some leftover sand, though, from Okokoke over to Buxton. A lot of sand came from Erin as she passed by the shoreline, but things are improving there. Now, the coastal areas are going to have a chance for some rain along this cold front. We've actually had 2 that are pushed past the Carolinas over the last 24 hours. Over the next 36 hours, this one will dip its way to the south. Another low develops right around Charleston. That isn't going to affect us. Instead, we have a lot of dry and cooler air that's going to be with us over the near term. So 81 degrees is where we were on Friday. We hit a high of 80 degrees on Saturday. Yesterday, we jumped up to 88. The reason why that number is significant is that's where we should be for this time of the year, 88 degrees. But instead, we're really far off from it. And then 86 degrees, pretty close to where we were yesterday, is actually going to be one of the warmer days that we have going forward. So kind of keep that in mind. So a start of 70 degrees is pretty decent, but I want to focus in on our lows. Check this out. Over the next few mornings, we're going to see a big drop off. Where right now we're at 70. Well, by this time tomorrow, we could be in the lower 60s, and there's even a chance later on this week that Thursday morning could start off around 59 degrees. So get ready for some much cooler bus stops, using the word crisp again, something that we haven't used in months, it seems. Let's get over to Majestic to see how we're kicking off the morning with our morning commute. How's it looking, my friend?
All right, good morning, everyone. Need to break down a couple of things for you. We'll start with just this big picture perspective of what's going on for your Monday morning commute. Want to take you into Tryon Street near Sugar Creek Road. You can see some yellow popping up, indicating that we do have some medium impacts right here. Traffic is moving a little slower. This is the most important thing that we're following right now. This is a picture that we just got in of what's going on. Again, North Tryon Street, specifically at Dorton Street. So you can see emergency responders are there on scene. Some injuries have been reported with that, and it is making for some delays as this is right in the intersection right here. Again, North Tryon Street, specifically at Dorton Street. So we'll keep you up to date with this once we learn more from the medics that are currently there. Also, out towards Lake Wiley, a lane is currently blocked because of an active accident. It's on Grand Palisades Parkway and Highway 49. That's York Road right there. You can see all of the red indicating just stop and go traffic. That even takes you over the bridge of Lake Wiley. So plan accordingly if you are heading mainly northbound there, as one lane is currently blocked. It's not completely blocked off. At least one lane is still moving, but it is moving rather slowly as traffic is quite congested. I-85 inbound, no accidents here between Gastonia and Belmont. Just more people heading out the door, all heading in the same direction. And then just be careful as you're heading out the door. The traffic signals right here, they will be flashing not just today, but even into tomorrow. It's on Parkwood Ave and East 16th Street. So make sure you're careful as you're heading out the door. Ben.
7:40 right now on WCNC Plus, and it is time to connect the dots when we make the news make sense. As students return to the classroom today, teachers are already feeling demoralized and in some cases exhausted.
Teaching has never been an easy job, but now teachers are facing a range of new challenges. Let's connect the dots. Issues like student behavior, distractions in class, low pay, and navigating the complex world of AI are taking a toll on our teachers. According to the Department of Education, just 42% of teachers believe their job is worth the stress. That's down from 75% just 8 years ago. In those reports, teachers cite a sudden rise in student behavior and mental health challenges as the root cause of their burnout. One teacher tells the Wall Street Journal he feels less like a teacher and more like a babysitter. With so many teachers leaving and a lot more burned out, it's impacting how students are learning. Schools now struggle to handle student challenges like learning loss and absenteeism with no clear end in sight. And that is connecting the dots.
And take a look at this. All morning long, we've been asking you to share your back to school photos with us this morning. Here's a look at some of the ones you've sent in, which we realize that you're juggling about 1,000 things this morning. So it's taking some time to take a photo and send it to us. We certainly appreciate it. Keep them coming throughout the morning. We'll continue to show them right here on WCNC Plus. Text us 704-329-3600. Best of luck on the back to school. And we're back here on WCNC Plus in just 2 minutes. Approaching 7:45 right here on WCNC Plus. As students and teachers head back to school today, local nonprofits are really stepping in to help relieve the expense of classroom needs. WCNC Charlotte's Bria Smith joins us here live in the studio. And Bria, you're filling us in on how Classroom Central, which is just a great group, how they're helping teachers.
That's right, Ben. Well, Classroom Central has what they call a free store, including a wide stock of school supplies and educational materials throughout the school year.
We're talking about notebooks, erasers, pencils, crayons, and then they also have specialty supplies sprinkled here throughout: electronic books, candy, gum, all of those are eligible supplies.
Teacher Rashi-Ann Woods understands the importance of Classroom Central's contribution to a teacher's classroom from both sides of the aisle as a volunteer and teacher.
Coming into it, I did not have all the money and supplies that I needed for the classroom, but I was eligible to get a shopping appointment in August right before going to classroom, and I got all the classroom supplies that I needed to set up for classroom.
Chelsea Davis, the director of educator engagement at Classroom Central, understands why it's so important they meet the demand.
On average, teachers spend about $500 out of their own money to get supplies for their classrooms and ensure their students have what they need. And that's where we come in to make sure that they're getting all the resources that they need.
Davis and her team creating one less worry for teachers stepping into the new school year.
They encourage you to bring your own bags or boxes. You come in, you check in by your school name, and then once you're signed in, they give you a shopping cart buggy, so you really are shopping, and you can go from aisle to aisle to aisle, get whatever you need. and Classroom Central app, and then you can just start scanning. So my limit here is 6.
Now, the store is open on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 2:30 to 5:30 p.m. But if you can't make it in, there are online ways to shop. And for ways to register, visit our WCNC Charlotte app. Ben?
And we so appreciate our teachers so much. We can't give them enough support, really. Bria, thanks for highlighting it. We appreciate it. All right, keep it right here on WCNC Plus. We're back in just 2 minutes. $7:49 right now here on WCNC Plus, and you're taking a live look inside Lisa Washington's car. All morning long, we've been following her as she got the kids out of bed, fixed breakfast, and now, like you at home, probably getting ready to take them into school. All right, so Lisa, last we checked with you, you were in a long line of cars, and it looks like you are still in a long line of cars.
Still in a long line of cars, Ben, but we finally made it onto the campus of the middle school. So that's a positive sign. But I will tell you, it did take much longer than I anticipated. I mean, there are 2 lines, so I'm being very careful as I drive us in here. I thought that the actual drive, I think, said about 8 minutes, but it's certainly taken. We left the house at 7:23. Right now it's 7:50, so that shows you how long it's taken. The first day, I guess people are figuring it all out, as are we. But so far, so good. Still a little nervous, but Reagan is, I think, somewhat excited. Yes? Maybe? No? We're not talking as much now. So there's that. 6th grade is a big deal. There are a lot of kids here, so we'll see how it goes for drop-off, and we'll do it again later.
I mean, it's a big morning. I mean, not only is it, first day of 6th grade, but also mom's got a camera guy with her, following her all morning long. I don't blame Reagan. It's a lot to take in all at one time. And we should say you're going to drop Reagan off, and then you got to go to the next school to drop off Caleb. So we're expecting more updates coming your way in the next little bit. As you take us through what is the routine thousands of parents are going through this morning, just like you. All right, Lisa, be safe. We'll check back in just a bit. All right, now let's get a check of that forecast on this back to school Monday.
Thanks a lot, Ben. Well, first off, here's the good news. We have still some humid air in place, but realistically, the air that we have right now is going to be the most humid that we're going to have for most of the week. Where a dew point close to 70, that is still oppressive. But then once you get into the 50s, down even into the 40s, you have that sticky air that retreats, and then that decent, very nice forecast. And this map, honestly, is even going to be in green before you know it. So here's where we're going. This is the top, and then watch. We have a quick drop off. We actually have an active cold front that's passing this morning, so that's going to bring us down to that borderline humid air. By this evening, it gets even cooler, and then when you're rocking the lower 50s for your dew points, boy, does it feel great. So realistically, today is the only day that it's going to be borderline humid to sticky. After that, this is really that fall air that everything is comfortable. So even with temperatures in the lower 80s and sunshine, yeah, the sunshine will make you feel a little bit hotter, but you don't have that mugginess. We're not going to be talking about a heat index, heat indices at all for this coming week. 70 degrees is our temperature right now in Charlotte. It's 72 for you in Rockingham. Depends where you are. Some of us dealing with nothing but sunshine, others dealing with more clouds. You can see over here in Monroe down to Rock Hill as well, but still lots of those Carolina blues shining through. High temperature right around 86 degrees for Charlotte, 87 in Monroe, much warmer in Lancaster and Chirac, and then of course cooler in the inverse up in the high country in the lower 70s. But fall alert, fall alert. Ooh, cooler temperatures are really here by tomorrow. Mid 80s is still slightly below normal, but 80 to 81 is anywhere from 8 to 7 degrees off the marker where we should be for the dwindling days of August. It actually comes just in time because guess what tomorrow is? It's not just August 26th. It's just that a certain place is going to be bringing back their pumpkin spice lattes. So if that's your jam, good for you. It's going to be a good day for you. And also the weather is matching your enthusiasm. Our low temperatures right around 63 degrees tomorrow, 58 degrees in Hickory, 49. Boone, what are you doing? This is a big drop off. I mentioned the highs. Well, our average low should be around 68 degrees. So we're well off that mark by almost 10 degrees, 59 degrees for a low on Thursday. And this is going to be a below average trend. Yeah, we do take another comeback to the mid 80s on Saturday. We do it again heading in the middle of next week. But all in all, the lower 80s are the dominant temperature range over the next 10 days. So enjoy this cooler forecast while we have it. Looks like it's going to hold true to at least into the first week of September. Now let's head over to another look at our morning commute. Majestic, it's been on and and up and down for you so far.
Yeah, and we are following more of a serious accident. So let's get to it. You can see the big picture perspective of what's going on. This is really where we're really watching very carefully for you. It's a serious accident right now. All lanes are currently blocked. North Tryon Street between Eastway Drive and Sugar Creek Road. So again, all lanes blocked. Here's a picture of that ongoing accident and injury incident. So medics are there. You can see multiple fire trucks are there on scene right in the intersection. So again, they have blocked all lanes right now at North Tryon Street and Eastway Drive. So that is the biggest thing that we're following very, very carefully for you. And then just outside of Charlotte, I want to take you out to Lake Wiley. All of this red, never a good sign indicating that stop and go traffic. Another lane is blocked because of an incident. It's on Grand Palisades Parkway at York Road. That does include the bridge that goes over Lake Wiley if you're heading more inbound. So we'll very, very carefully keep a close eye on that for you. Those are the two biggest things. We're also starting to see more of that congestion on I-85 inbound. No accident there, just definitely seeing more people in the same direction, all heading in the same direction. Those lights are still flashing. Keep that in mind. Parkwood Ave and East 16th Street. Time for a quick break. We'll see you right back here after this commercial break.
Well, good morning, everybody. Not a bad Monday whatsoever. Yesterday we were at 88, today 86 degrees. Nice mix of cloud and sunshine. So at times you're going to have more clouds than others, and then other times you're going to have plenty of those Carolina blues, and then it's a fall alert by tomorrow. Temperatures in the lower 80s, and boy, are we going to be feeling it. I really like this forecast going forward, but this is going to be the big difference. By tomorrow morning, we're waking up into the lower 60s, so it's almost cool and crisp going forward. Check out these lows into the lower 60s, around 59 degrees on Thursday, and then our highs also trending well below normal over the next 10 days. Now let's get over to Majestic, who has a developing traffic situation.
All right, good morning, everyone. Want to get you straight to it. Really following this serious accident right now that has blocked all lanes. You can see that purple there indicating it. It's on North Tryon Street between Eastway Drive and Sugar Creek Road. Again, all lanes currently blocked because of this ongoing active crash. You can see multiple fire trucks there. Emergency responders are there on scene. It's an injury incident that is currently blocking all lanes right there. So we'll keep you up to date with that over on WCNC. Plus, we've also been following this crash out towards Lake Wiley. It has since been cleared. It's on Grand Palisades Parkway and Highway 49. It's since been cleared, but you can still see all of that red indicating still stop and go traffic. I-85 if you're heading inbound, no accidents now, but traffic is starting to build.
Streaming live right now at 8 a.m. right here on WCNC Plus. I'm Ben Thompson. We'll be checking in with Lisa coming up in just a few minutes. Probably like you, she's getting ready to get the kids to school this morning. And take a look. It's the first day back for CMS, Hickory schools, Union, Anson, and Caldwell counties as well. A big morning for a lot of families across our area. WCNC Charlotte's Richard Devane live in Union County this morning, where families there getting ready for the first day. And Richard, I think that first bell rang about 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. Those families have gotten ready for the first day of school. Kids are here in classland all around Union County. Both the high school is about to have its first bell, which is up the street. And now here at Weddington Elementary School, you see it's quiet. An hour ago, there was music. There was a lot of parents dropping off kids. Some parents with tears. Counted more dads with tears in their eyes than mothers for the most part this morning as kids were making their way, some for the very first time ever in school here today. Of course, this is a big day here in Union County as some 41,000 students are coming to class for the first day of the school year. 5,000 teachers also here making sure that their first days and the rest of their semester is memorable. We had a chance to sit down with Dr. Andrew Houlihan a few weeks ago. Lisa actually did, and speak to him about what this year means. There's new innovations, there's new technology, there's actually they said they're going to have a SRO in every high school campus. They say they're trying to work to have that happen for the year. As far as all the elementary schools, they're hoping to get that accomplished through the year. They have a lot of technology, laptops in a lot of the classrooms, new technology, and a lot of things going on. But we asked Dr. Houlihan, and he talks about some of the big three things he wants all parents to know as we come to the start of this new year. Take a listen.
Number one, we've had a lot of change over the summer. We're introducing a brand new student information system called Infinite Campus. That is a statewide purchase that all districts are implementing. There will be challenges with that. With any new rollout of any SIS, there's going to be kinks that we have to work out. So I would just say on that end, number one, if as a parent, go claim your account, right? That gets you access to your child's grade book, attendance, bus routes, emergency contact. Number two, I would say we always start the year off with a lot of traffic on the roads. Union County has got to get a better infrastructure in terms of our roads and our roadways. So be patient with us as you see buses on the route. Students are driving to school. That's always a challenge. And then I think the third one is stay involved. Get involved with your child, with your local school. We have phenomenal parent organizations. We're trying to grow those in a lot of our Title I communities. But we want parents to be engaged. We want our communities to be engaged. We have a lot of great programs that can help you do that.
Yeah, he says a lot of great programs. It's important to note, he also says that his key thing is making sure that students feel safe when they come here. He pointed to new safety measures and just the fact that there is safety not just for their physical being, but also mental health, things of that nature. In addition, he says that this is the important thing, is making sure that everyone feels comfortable and they have the right mindset in order to do their best to learn. We're right here in Union County. We'll send it back to you.
And Richard, you've been there at Weddington Elementary all morning long. I assume things went off without a hitch there. Any big problems they have?
Absolutely smooth. As a matter of fact, the parents, even this is the elementary school, so you saw some parents going in the parking lot. The teachers, of course, directing them where to go so that they could walk their children to class, and other parents dropping them off. And the high school is up the street. The middle school, I should say, is up the street as well. And parents dropping their kids off. We've been watching. Only saw one person that might be in trouble for doing something as far as driving this morning. Don't know the details of that, but everything looks very smooth for the first day.
And Richard Devane also reporting that perhaps more fathers were a bit more misty-eyed than the moms out there. Richard Devane reporting live for us. Richard, it's understandable. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. All right, now let's go ahead and get a check of that first day of school forecast. And Chris, my friend, you have delivered.
Oh, I know. I'm feeling pretty good about this. I did nothing. I literally had a weekend like you all, and I was just handed this forecast. But boy, is this nice. This is a beautiful, breathtaking shot through our Monroe camera. Considering that we had many days last week that were a little bit cloudier of a start, this is a great way to start off the day. But hey, no, I get the dads being teary-eyed. Just over the weekend, I was just even thinking of JT going to school a couple years from now, and we're not even close to that. I'm already teary-eyed. So 72 degrees is our current temp. We have gained 2 degrees over the last hour. 67 around Lincolnton, 72 for you in Sherrod, 59 in Boone. It's incredible to think it's 59 in Boone, but tomorrow morning you could be at 49 degrees, and there's a good chance that we're going to be either side of 60 degrees each and every morning for the rest of this week. So bus stop goers, welcome back to school, but it doesn't feel like the last days of August. Usually you're at the bus stop and you're like, ugh, it's humid and gross already. No, we don't have that. It actually is going to be very comfortable, so that's a nice little treat compared to many other mornings that we've had in the past for kids heading back to school. So our high temperature range, 88 is where we should be. 86 is where we're at today. So pretty much just call this near normal to a normal day. And then after today, we see a big drop because a front is actively pushing through the area right now. That's going to bring us down into the lower 80s, not just Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but we're also throw Friday in as a bonus before we start to warm up just ever so slightly heading into your holiday weekend. Sunrise time, 6:51. That already happened. What I want to focus in on is what's happening about 12 hours from now, less than 12 hours now. 8 p.m. is our sunset time, and I'm not trying to be mean over here giving you this information, but it is true. The one caveat, the downfall that we have for the fall season is that our days are technically getting shorter, at least the period of daylight. So 8 p.m., that sunset time was also the sunset time yesterday. Well, that officially moves below that 8 p.m. time by tomorrow. So that means that we're going to have a sunset time at or below 8 p.m. until April 20th, or if I can get those words out. Next 36 hours, well, guess what's happening? As I mentioned, the front is moving through right now. We have an active cold front that's passing. That's why we're going to be rain-free today. Yeah, you're seeing a few of these boop, 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 little specks popping up. That's representing maybe a light rain shower east of us. The only one that I'm going to say, hey, maybe you see this is going to be around Chesterfield County, but once this pushes its way further off towards the east, we have a couple of systems that are really right along the coastal regions and the Carolina shoreline, and that'll be a nice mix of cloud and sunshine. And eventually a high pressure system is going to roll in for my pick of the week. That's going to be on Wednesday. 80 degrees then, plenty of sunshine. A few more clouds also on your Thursday before we have a nice mix of cloud and sunshine and a rain chance increasing and returning for an isolated storm on Friday. But all in all, this is not how we typically end the last days of August, because if you look closely, we always have the dates here on that 7-day forecast. Sunday is August 31st. Well, these temperatures right here are more like mid to late September, so we're about a month off for where the 7-day forecast should be. Let's get over to Majestic, who's had an interesting traffic situation starting to develop. Let's get right over to you, my friend.
Yes, good morning. Lots of more accidents now popping up as we're heading into that 8 o'clock hour now, 8:08 if you are getting ready to head out anytime soon. Want to give you an update on this. We just told you about it, that serious accident. It's currently clearing though, so we're starting to see some improvements with that. It was just blocked in all directions. Now it's clearing North Tryon Street again between Eastway Drive and Sugar Creek Road. You can see the yellow there, meaning that there are still some impacts, but as you can see, the car is getting towed away. Those fire trucks that were just on scene are also gone. Notice that there are some police officers out there still directing traffic, so just make sure you are careful if you are heading that way. Otherwise, we've also been talking about this one. I still want to give you an update on it because it's also clearing, but notice still a whole lot of red here. Now the lane has opened up, but that slowdown is still ongoing. It's at Grand Palisades Parkway and York Road. You can see out towards Lake Wiley, so even the bridge going over the lake. And then I-85, if you're taking those inbound lanes, this is nothing new. We have those backups that are starting to build. No accidents there, just more people all heading in the same direction. This is something that we're following not just today, but this will even last into tomorrow. The traffic signals, they're going to be flashing, so make sure you're paying attention as you're driving. It's on Parkwood Ave and East 16th Street. Ben.
Justin, thanks. 8:09 right now on WCNC Plus. And if you're just now joining us all morning long, we've been following my colleague, Lisa Washington, as she woke up, got the kids out of bed, fixed them waffles this morning, and now she is currently in the middle of dropping them off. We do this because we know this is what so many of you are doing this morning. All right, Lisa, so bring us up to date. You've dropped off Reagan. Now it's Caleb's turn.
It is now Caleb's turn, and we are very early, which is a good thing because elementary school starts at 8:45. So we got Reagan there just in time, thank goodness. And now the line is not as long for elementary school, which is a great thing. So we're going to drop Caleb off. Buddy, are you feeling good about second grade? Yes? Okay, wonderful. So you see some parents are parking and taking their kids out. My kids don't really want that, unfortunately. I wish they did. Reagan wouldn't even let me get out of the car to give her a hug. So there's that at sixth grade, I suppose. But yeah, so there's a bit of a line here for drop off, but not nearly what we experienced for middle school. Caleb, how are you feeling, buddy?
Good.
Good. Okay. Do you remember your teacher's name? Don't say it, but do you remember your teacher's name?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Very good. And you have all your supplies? Yes. Are you excited about lunch?
Yes.
What are you going to get for lunch? Here's a note for you, Ben. Caleb tends to buy all the extra things, so he goes through his lunch money quite quickly. Please don't buy more than one cookie today, okay? Got it? He's very generous and will buy treats for his friends.
It's so tempting to get more than one cookie. I mean, hey, look, for our viewers who called this earlier on, around 6:30 this morning, there was a bit of a crisis because he decided he wanted to change his outfit for the day, and he lost his watch. Did all those things get resolved?
So yes, all those things have happened. He has on his shorts and he has his watch. Now here's the interesting thing about the watch. I'm actually going to do a story on that for tomorrow. These devices, it's the new policy. They have to be off and away. So even though Caleb got a watch for his birthday and wants to take it to school, he can only wear it now. Once he gets out of the car, it has to be in his backpack and he can't have it. Right, bud? Remember, it has to be off and away. Got it? Yes? Okay. Thank you very much. You can tell your friends about it, but let's not show it to them. Are you taking it off now? Yes? Reluctantly, he's taking it off.
There you go.
So yeah.
So you're going to drop him off and then what?
Well, I heard Chris talking earlier and Richard. I'm going to drop Caleb off and I'm going to think about it. I'm going to sit with it for a minute. I'm hoping there won't be any tears, right? Because we got the cameras here, so I got to be on good behavior. But I do think about it because I was just bringing him home from the hospital not that long ago, and now we're going to second grade, so that's heavy. But yeah, that's kind of where we are.
It's the thing that goes through, I think, all parents. I mean, my mother is watching this right now, and she's texting me about my first day of school and how emotional it was for her. So, I mean, I don't think that's anything that parents ever get beyond. And it's been a few years since I did my back to school days. So it's just one of those things that I think always resonate with parents. And I'll see you back here in the newsroom later today, and we can talk more about it. And you can regale me with the stories you couldn't say on camera, which will probably be the funner part.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
All right. Perfect. All right, Lisa, thank you. And folks, all morning long, we've been asking you to share with us your back to school photos. Here's a look at some of them. We know you're busy this morning, so we appreciate you taking time to send us these. Text us 704-329-3600. We're back here on WCNC Plus in just 2 minutes. 8:16 right now on WCNC Plus, and this morning we are working to learn more when it comes to a deadly accident in East Charlotte. One person now dead after being hit last night. According to medic, a pedestrian was killed on East Independence Boulevard. This is footage from that scene. No word yet on what led up to the crash or if any suspects are now in custody. A separate investigation underway this morning after a shooting in Northeast Charlotte sent one person to the hospital. It happened near Lambeth Drive Sunday, just days after a 16-year-old was killed while sitting on his family's front porch in this same neighborhood. Neighbors say the violence is getting worse and that younger folks are often at the center of it.
This area, it is starting to be aggressive and everything to the point that it's the young heads.
Too many guns and not enough people that's intelligent enough to handle them.
Right now, both cases remain under investigation, and officers ask that anybody with information please come forward. This morning, 2 violent incidents connected to public transit are under investigation. The first started on a CATS bus in South Charlotte. The second, a deadly stabbing just days later near a light rail stop in South End. Investigators say the suspect in that case is 34-year-old DeCarlos Brown. Folks in the area asking for more safety measures before they consider using transit as an option.
Daylight, I still feel a little bit weird. I think that if anything, city initiatives that had to do with making it a bit more accessible and a bit more safe would mean a lot to how often I choose that as an option.
In a statement, CATS said safety remains a top priority. They'll continue to work with CMPD as the investigation continues. Keep it right here on WCNC Plus. More of our back to school coverage coming your way in just 2 minutes.
Well, welcome back, everybody. Good to see you. Who's ready for a fantastic day? Now, at times, it is going to be cloudier than others, but all in all, it's a nice mix of cloud and sunshine. This is the cloudiest version of any of our cameras I've seen so far this morning. 66 degrees, current temperature right now around Hickory. 66 around Statesville, and then 59 for you up in Boone. Get ready for some cooler days ahead. And then our highs today, right around 86 for the greater Charlotte area. Chance of challenging 90 degrees down towards the south, and then locked and loaded in the mid 80s as well along the I-40 corridor, and then the lower 70s only up in the high country. So your after school forecast for the greater Charlotte area. By the way, welcome back to school, everybody. And you'll have borderline heat index by maybe 1 degree today. but today is actually going to be the most humid, if you even want to call it that, compared to the ones that we're going to see in the near term. Also tonight, in tonight's sky, we have a waxing crescent moon that officially is rising up at 9:06. So you're going to actually see the moon during the day today. Moon set at 9:12. So you actually see the moon more during the day today compared to what you have during the overnight. And the most visible planet is actually going to be right around sunrise. It rises up at 4:14. But I have some good news for you. Those cooler lows are going to be on the way. We're talking about the lower 60s, but tomorrow's pumpkin spice fans rejoice. It's Pumpkin Spice Day. Yep, you know what local coffee shop I'm talking about. Bring back their pumpkin spice lattes. And it's going to be a little bit cooler. Highs only in the lower 80s, so you can get it iced or maybe hot for the morning with lows only in the lower 60s, even the upper 50s happening later on this week. That's your weather report. Let's get right over to traffic to see how things are looking compared to the last update.
Good morning, everyone. While we were talking about that accident on North Tryon Street, all the streets were blocked and then it was clearing. It is officially cleared at this point, so no more problems out that direction. But we now have a handful of new ongoing issues. This one here bringing with it a lot of red, stop and go, and even slow-moving traffic. There's an active crash right here. It's on Providence Road at Wendover Road. Just to the north of it, not too far away, another active crash right here on Chadsford Place at Vernon Drive. So I'll keep a close eye on those two. They're very close to each other. And then just down the road, we're still on Providence. There's another crash here. It's on Providence and Fairview Road. So if you drive in Providence, you may want to allow a couple of extra minutes to get to where you need to be, and just drive safe, because it seems like we right now have at least 2 active accidents on Providence. Just to the east, we are following this. A stalled vehicle. It's on Blair Road at Albemarle Road. Make sure you're careful there. We'll have another update coming up here shortly.
Majestic, thanks. 8:23 right now, and as we've mentioned, several school districts heading back to class today, including CMS in Union County. That means you can expect to see a lot more school buses on the road this morning and again this afternoon. WCNC Charlotte's Megan Bragg has some important tips for drivers to keep in mind.
Hundreds of thousands of kids in North Carolina ride the school bus every day. Keeping them safe takes all of us, so we want to remind you of some important rules of the road. In North Carolina, when it comes to stopping for buses on a multi-lane road, North Carolina law says if you are on a 2-lane road, everyone needs to stop, regardless of whether you approach them from the back or the front of the bus. You must remain stopped the entire time that flashing stop sign is extended. Once the stop sign is no longer visible, you can keep driving. When it comes to a 4-lane road or a multi-lane highway, in North Carolina, drivers on both sides of the road are required to stop if there is no median. If the lanes are divided by a center turning lane or median, only traffic following the bus is required to stop. And finally, don't forget the danger zone. This extends 10 feet from the front, back, and each side of the bus. No one should ever enter this zone because the bus driver can't see you. If you drop something in the zone, you should let the driver know instead of taking the risk to pick it up. You can find out more about bus safety on our WCNC mobile app. In Charlotte, Megan Bragg, WCNC Charlotte.
All right, keep it right here on WCNC Plus. Live pictures right now over Uptown on this Monday, August the 25th. We're back in just a few minutes.
Good morning, everybody. Yesterday was at 88. We're at 86, and not a big difference. And that's mixed cloud and sunshine. The difference today, it's less humid, and we don't have that spotty storm chance to end the day. Today is going to be rain-free, and that starts our drier trend. Highs in the mid-80s, maybe a slight heat index by 1 degree hotter, but you're really going to notice the difference going forward. As for the rain chances, you see a speck of green pop up here. That's not going to amount to anything. That maybe just you see a darker cloud, but that's it. Deal with more clouds heading into tomorrow, and that could also lead to some morning fog. But check out our lows. Lower 60s to the upper 50s, not just tomorrow morning, but pretty much each and every morning this week. We should be in the upper 60s. Instead, we're splitting the difference of 60 degrees. Now, going forward, we have some great days if you want to catch a baseball game, because the Charlotte Knights are back in town by tomorrow. And then we are looking at 81 to 80 degrees, and then eventually back into the mid 80s on Saturday. Get outside and enjoy this beautiful fall stretch to end the month of August. Majestic, what's going on this morning?
Good morning, everyone. Well, area roadways are really getting busy as people are heading off to work, and we're getting those kids probably to school by this point. But you can see this is I-85 here, where traffic definitely is picking up still. Want to take you up to north of Charlotte, where we do have an active crash here. It's on Westmoreland Road at Statesville Road. That's where we do have a crash. It's not on a major street as far as I-77, just off to the east of it. We'll keep you up to date with that one. Another one here, though, really bringing those stop-and-go conditions. It's on Providence Road and Windover Road. Hope you have a great Monday. Drive safe.
Streaming live right now at 8:30 right here on WCNC Plus. I'm Ben Thompson, and all morning long we've been getting kids ready for the first day of school right beside you in real time. Lisa, we started off at 5 a.m. You were before the kids even were awake. Then you woke them up. You had a few outfit changes, a few crises. You just dropped them both off, and now you are back home. How'd it go?
Now, you know, I think if I had to rate it 1 to 10, I'd say a 9. There were a few things that were unexpected. Didn't know Caleb was going to want to change his outfit at the last minute. Didn't know we wouldn't find the watch, but we did, thank goodness. But it took longer, much longer than I expected. So I'm very glad that we left early. I thought it would have taken maybe 30 minutes. It was exactly an hour to drop both kids off at 2 different schools. Was reprimanded a little bit at the second school for not having Caleb on the right side of the back seat. But again, I only do this once a year, so there's that. But I think things went Overall, pretty good. Again, shout out to all the parents who do this every morning because, as you can see, it is not easy. So, you know, I'm usually at work with you this time of the morning. So I have lots of respect for those who do this day in and day out. It can be a bit of an undertaking. But now the kids are gone, so I just have to clean up the dishes and eat the leftover breakfast, and then I'm heading to see you.
So how did you feel dropping them off this morning?
So, of course, this morning was different because I have the cameras here, right? And I got up and put on makeup and all those things. But you do think about it for a while, right? Like, they're getting older. This is as young as they'll ever be, as old as they've ever been. But I don't know. I'm happy. Of course, I want them to grow up and do well. But there are moments when you're like, wait a minute, these are my babies. And now we're already talking 6th and 2nd grade.
Wow. Wow. I can only imagine the range of emotions that you're feeling, that all parents feel on a morning like this, and also probably, if we're being honest, some relief that summer's over and they're back in school as well, right?
Yes. Oh, yeah, I'm glad. You know, there's a little emotion like, oh, my God, they're growing up. But there's also like, get them to school. Now I can take a nap in peace this afternoon.
That's right.
So there are lots of good sides to this.
Lots of upsides to it for sure. All right. Well, listen, it has been fun and intriguing to get an inside look at your morning routine as you did what a lot of parents did this morning and got up early, got the kids out the door and at school on time. And this was fun. We enjoyed it.
I'm glad you did. I won't do this again.
This was a first and only time for Lisa Washington. We can just replay this next year. The kids will be in high school.
That's
and we'll just replay this over. Exactly. And I will see you a little bit later this morning. All right, Lisa, thank you. All right, let's check in, get a forecast with Chris.
Oh, man, love you, Lisa. And really want some orange juice. That pitcher of orange juice looked great. It was like a cereal commercial. Monroe looking gorgeous right now. And I was mentioning this a little bit earlier. We could have a few green specks on our futurecast that's even going to translate over to the radar. And these are some slightly darker cloud bottoms, and this is as that front is pushing through. So I think if we do have the ample moisture up above, we can actually have a better chance of seeing what's called virga. And virga is precipitation that evaporates before it hits the ground. But no rain hitting the surface today. We should be dry across the area. Only exception might be you in Richmond and Chesterfield County. So the further east you go, a little bit closer to I-95 is going to be a better chance for rain today. But right now we're at 72 in Charlotte, 70 in Concord, and then 66 right around Hickory. And today's highs, 86 degrees for you in Charlotte, close to 90 around Lancaster down towards the south. And I'm going to have to switch this graphic back to just your rain chances, even though it's going to be dry, because we've been flaunting the heat index and feels like for so long. Eventually I'll have to switch it over for the wind chill region, but not right away. But 85 is actually going to feel more like 86. So this is as barely of a heat index as what you can have. So it's still sticky enough to create that. But then going forward, we don't have much going on. Now, to be the bearer of bad news, I'll keep repeating this, just letting you know, of course, as we all know each and every season, that the sunrise and the sunset times are going to change. The day length is going to change as well. Well, we're at the time of the year that day length is getting shorter by about 2 minutes each and every day. So that means the sunset time of 8 o'clock is the last time that we're going to have a sunset at 8 or beyond until April 20th. And as we know, it goes even further down than that. The sunset of 8 o'clock, well, by the time you get to October 6th, we're talking about that sunset to be around 7 o'clock. So it quickly is going to drop off really going forward. So enjoy those later walks while we still have it. Now, we're still a few months of that, so I'm not being dramatic here, just letting you know that things are changing. That cold front is actively passing. It's actually directly over us now. And then it'll push its way off towards the east. That's going to allow for a better chance for showers and storms along the coast. They typically do from the sea breeze anyways. And then that front's going to fade out. We have a few pieces of fronts and lows right along the shoreline. We still have enough juice to the atmosphere to give more clouds for tomorrow. I think that's back on Thursday. Right now it looks like Wednesday is my pick of the week because that looks to be the sunniest day, and also just comfortably cool as well. And the lows, I think, are the biggest story going forward. This is tomorrow's forecast for the absolute bottom for our temperatures of the day. 49 degrees in Boone and 59 on Thursday, and that's for Charlotte. So likely we're in the lower 60s, some mornings in the upper 50s over the next several days through the weekend and to complete the month of August. So feeling like September to finish the month of August, which has been an odd month. And I will end on this. Today is the only day that is a bit sticky, even borderline humid. All the other days, no problem whatsoever, feeling comfortable. So enjoy this nice little fall break while we have it. But as we know, September could be all over the place as well. Traffic can also be all over the place. Let's get a double check with Majestic.
All right, good morning, everyone. Well, grab those sunglasses. It's beautiful outside, seeing a lot of sunshine peeking through right here. This is I-85. You can see people are definitely up and starting their day. Still a handful of accidents that are ongoing. Want to take you up by the lake. This is near I-77. It's not on I-77, but there is a crash right here. It's on Westmoreland Road at Statesville Road. So you can see that yellow here, just indicating that there are some medium impacts. It's not like it's a blocked lane or anything like this. This red right here, though, just to the south of Charlotte, that's where you are going to have some major backup. There's a crash on Providence Road and Windover Road, and not too far from that one, just to the east, a couple of blocks, there's a crash here on Chadsford Place and Vernon Drive. So very slow going as we're heading throughout the Providence area. Another crash, it's active right here on Providence Road at Fairview Road. So do keep those three things in mind. They're all in the same area. There is a stalled vehicle here on Blair Road and Albemarle Road, seeing some impacts there. And again, this one has been cleared, so we're no longer concerned about that. That's what I'm looking at for now, Ben. We'll have another check on those roads coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Majestic, thanks. As we mentioned, it's the first day of school for several districts: Union, Anson, Hickory, Caldwell, and yes, CMS. WCNC Charlotte's Destiny Richards shares how the district is making sure the new year starts off smoothly.
We're here at the CMS bus lot where that early fleet of buses has already taken off for the first day of school. A couple of hours ago, we heard from district leaders about transportation readiness, as well as some important things that families need to keep in mind ahead of the first day of school and throughout the school year. These updates are also included in a 10 things to know list on the front page of the CMS website. One of the biggest changes listed is the cell phone policy. Starting this school year, cell phones and personal devices must be turned off and put away during class to reduce distractions. CMS is also using some new information systems. Infinite Campus for grades, assignments, attendance, and schedules. And for alerts, parents should check Parent Square, which sends notifications by text, email, or app. Transportation Executive Director Delvicchio Dunn was also here this morning and says the district has 98 bus driver vacancies, but it shouldn't interfere with student routes. Superintendent Hill also addressed families who have children taking the bus this year.
We ask all of our families to be patient with us, just like we are every year the first day of school, the first couple of days of school, as we get into the new rhythm. But we are excited, we are ready, and we are prepared.
Destiny Richards with that report. And folks, we've been asking you all morning long, share your back to school photos as the kids head out the door. Here's a look at some of the photos you've been sending us this morning. Continue to keep them coming. 704-329-3600. And best of luck on this back to school Monday for all the families out there. In 2 minutes on WCNC Plus. 8:42 right now on WCNC Plus, continuing our back to school coverage this morning. And as teachers head back, local nonprofits are really stepping in to help relieve the expense of classroom needs. WCNC Charlotte's Bria Smith joins us right now in the studio on how Classroom Central is helping a lot of teachers out there. Bria.
Indeed, Ben. Well, Classroom Central has what they call a free store, including a wide stock of school supplies and educational materials throughout the year.
We're talking about notebooks, erasers, pencils, crayons, and then they also have specialty supplies sprinkled here throughout: electronic books, candy, gum, all of those are eligible supplies.
Teacher Rashi-Ann Woods understands the importance of Classroom Central's contribution to a teacher's classroom from both sides of the aisle as a volunteer and teacher.
Coming into it, I did not have all the money and supplies that I needed for the classroom, but I was eligible to get a shopping appointment in August, right before going to classroom, and I got all the classroom supplies that I needed to set up for classroom.
Chelsea Davis, the Director of Educator Engagement at Classroom Central, understands why it's so important they meet the demand.
On average, teachers spend about $500 out of their own money to get supplies for their classrooms and ensure their students have what they need. And that's where we come in to make sure that they're getting all the resources that they need.
Davis and her team creating one less worry for teachers stepping into the new school year.
They encourage you to bring your own bags or boxes. You come in, you check in by your school name, and then once you're signed in, they give you a shopping cart buggy, so you really are shopping, and you can go from aisle to aisle to aisle, get whatever you need. And Classroom Central app, and then you can just start scanning. So my limit here is 6.
Now, the store is open on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 2:30 to 5:30 p.m. But if you can't make it in, there are ways to shop online. For ways to register, visit our WCNC Charlotte app. Ben?
I hate to see that teachers are having to spend hundreds of dollars of their own money to just equip their classroom. It shouldn't have to happen, but I'm glad that Classroom Central helps in so many ways every single year, as do many other organizations. Bria, thank you for that. Appreciate it. 8:44 right now. Time now to connect the dots. When we make the news, makes sense. As students return to the classroom, teachers are already feeling demoralized and in some cases exhausted.
Teaching has never been an easy job, but now teachers are facing a range of new challenges. Let's connect the dots. Issues like student behavior, distractions in class, low pay, and navigating the complex world of AI are taking a toll on our teachers. According to the Department of Education, just 42% of teachers believe their job is worth the stress. That's down from 75% just 8 years ago. In those reports, teachers cite a sudden rise in student behavior and mental health challenges as the root cause of their burnout. One teacher tells the Wall Street Journal he feels less like a teacher and more like a babysitter. With so many teachers leaving and a lot more burned out, it's impacting how students are learning. Schools now struggle to handle student challenges like learning loss and absenteeism with no clear end in sight. And that is connecting the dots.
8:45 right now. We're back here in 2 minutes on WCNC Plus.
Good morning. Who is ready for a beautiful fall-like forecast? Well, we got to wait a day technically, because if you look at our dew points, this is still steamy, uncomfortable, but things are changing, my friends. A cold front is actively pushing through, so that little hint of green here, let me point it out. Boop, that right there is representing some much drier air that will be here by tomorrow. And you can see that the highest dew point that we are anticipating over the next couple of hours is right now, and then boom, eventually down into the lower 50s. All you need to know is that's heading into a nice little comfortable range. Anytime that you have this area of brown here and anything in the 50s, it feels amazing, especially for this time of year. So 86 degrees today with a little bit of that sticky air is the most normal day that we're going to have over the next 7. Then we're going to really see a big drop off. And at times through this morning and through this afternoon, you're going to have more clouds than other times, and other times you're going to have more blue skies. So that's why I usually get away with saying a mix of clouds and sunshine, anywhere from mostly sunny to partly sunny skies throughout the course of today. And that Carolina fall alert officially is in full gear by tomorrow for our lows as well, but dropping down to right around 80 degrees for your Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. That means all of these days mostly hanging out in the 70s for the warmer part of the day. Our lows, though, this is almost a shock and out of the system. 49 degrees for you tomorrow in the mountains. Now you're anticipating to be cooler, but maybe not this cool this early. 63 degrees is also a big step away from what we usually see. The average low for Charlotte is 68, not doing that. We're almost 10 degrees off the mark. Come Thursday morning, 59. That is going to be cool, crisp, and actually feeling amazing. Some of you might even be busting out the morning sweatshirt. You don't need it later on because we're rocking some sunshine with the 80s. Now I do think the 81 on Thursday is coming with more cloud cover, 82 on Friday, and then back to the mid 80s, but the lower 80s, anywhere from 80 to 82, is the dominant range on our extended forecast. The 10-day outlook as far as any rain goes, we do not have any widespread system that's going to bring washout type scenarios or really even long periods of rain. It's just the usual pop-up shower or thunderstorm. It doesn't really take much this time of year or any time for us to pop up that type of activity. Now let's talk about the tropics. Earlier on this morning, I was talking about a 10% chance for development right here along the Lesser Antilles. Not happening anymore. It was a much more organized system on Friday. This is looking like this could potentially be Gabrielle. No, not happening now. Instead, that's starting to wind down. As far as Tropical Storm Fernand that formed over the weekend, that's going to be a fish storm, not affecting Bermuda as well. So one last look at that 7-day forecast here on WCNC Plus before you see me over to the Impact Studio. Lower 80s to the mid 80s heading into your Labor Day weekend. Not a bad forecast. This one's a good one, Majestic. Let's get over to you with traffic.
All right, nice start to the day. Plenty of sunshine to kick off the new work week. I-85 here is flowing just fine. Not seeing any major significant delays as you're heading out the door. You can see, there you go, a nice mix of sun and clouds. At least no rain to start out our Monday. Few things to let you know, though, before you head out the door. It's not a perfect morning commute. Want to take you north just east of I-77 here. This is where we do have an active crash. It's on Westmoreland Road and Statesville Road, seeing some yellow developing, meaning that there are some impacts, but it's not like it's a block lane or anything like that. Just to the south, Providence Road has been a mess this morning. We've had multiple active accidents. Right now, this one is on Providence Road and Windover Road. All of that orange again indicating that cars are moving rather slowly. Just to the north of it, though, it's only a block or two away from that one. It's on Chadsford Place at Vernon Drive where that accident is ongoing, with that mainly green, so not seeing a lot of delays with it. And then finally here on Providence Road again and Fairview Road, there is a single car accident bringing some minor delays. Just to the east, we have a stalled vehicle here on Blair Road and Albemarle Road. With that, we like to see at least green with it, so probably the cars off to the side, not really impacting your morning commute. Those are the things I'm watching for now. We'll have another check on those roads for that Monday morning commute coming up here in just a few minutes.
Majestic, thanks. 8:52 right now on WCNC Plus. And a lot of you came out over this past weekend to help us clear the shelters, and we just want to say a big shout out to all y'all. WCNC Charlotte teamed up with Charlotte Mecklenburg Animal Care and Control to help find pets their forever homes. Thanks to the event, more than 80 pets were adopted. Hundreds more found homes through participating shelters and rescues across the greater Charlotte area. Again, you always come out, you always support this cause. We've been doing it now for 10 years or so. And of course, it's a cause near and dear to all of our hearts as well.
Thanks to so many people who came out, so many adoptions. The other great thing, the people who are starting to foster staycations, that's about 10 days having a pet, even daycations where you give them a chance just to be out of shelters. So many hundreds were adopted. There were 11 shelters that participated in Clear the Shelters this past weekend. So thank you. Thanks to Melissa Nicely from out there who heads up the operation.
She's great.
And all the volunteers, all the people who work out there did an outstanding job.
Yeah, it's one of our favorite things we do every single year, and it's great because you all make it possible. All right, check this out. We've been talking about it's back to school, so we decided to embarrass ourselves and show photos of ourselves going back
look
to
at how
school.
cute Ben is.
Rocking.
Been a charmer since birth.
Oh yeah, that stylish red
Look
turtleneck.
at that hair. You have some good hair then and now.
Same haircut.
Oh my goodness.
So
and look at your posture, right? You're doing the same thing.
Basically doing
Look
the
at
same
you.
thing, yeah.
Crossing your hands.
I just need that red turtleneck. And then there's Chris.
Yeah.
Rocking his Hornets gear.
Which is crazy because this is up in Massachusetts. I think it was an on-sale T-shirt at a local shop, and I was like, you know what? I like that team with the big poofy hair. This is back in 5th grade, so I wanted to flaunt that. I guess it was meant to be that I was going to be coming to Charlotte.
Yeah, and then take a look. Here's Lisa.
Oh, that's precious.
How about this? You probably saw her all morning long getting her kids ready. She'll be back with us later on at midday. And then, Majestic, how about that?
With my bright blonde streaks that I begged my mom to get. This is 1st grade. She's like, okay, sure, you can have some blonde streaks in your hair.
Wow.
Loved it.
Wow. Destiny, I assume. Destiny Richards here as well.
Awesome.
Loving the Argyle, Destiny. By the way, the Argyle sweater's nice.
That's me.
There you go. I was about to say.
That's me. So I begged, same thing there, kindergarten, begged my mom to get me some bangs. I was in love with Dora, so there goes the pink shirt and the bangs.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Well, I think we've all improved. That's just my opinion.
Slightly.
There you go. All right. Live pictures right now inside our live Impact studio where Jane Monreal is getting ready for the broadcast coming up in just about 5 minutes. Keep it right here on WCNC Plus.
A beautiful sky behind me, mid-80s, just a tick cooler than what we had yesterday of a high of 88. And hey, we'll have a slight heat index, but barely anything. Still just a slightly sticky air mass overhead, but we're about to change directions into more of a fall-like pattern. Not only is it cooler right around 80 degrees, but our lows also starting off in the cooler end. Even a shot at the upper 50s on Thursday morning. Right now, Wednesday looking like my pick of the week. Certainly well below normal for the last days of August. Majestic?
All right, a beautiful start to our Monday. Lots of kiddos off to class this morning. Should be a great day for them. I-77 here at exit 90. That's Carowin. Seems to be flowing just fine. We still do have a few accidents out there, though, so make sure you're driving carefully as always. Want to take you north of Charlotte right here. This is what we're following for you very carefully. It's an accident there on Statesville Road, saying some minimal delays with it. And then just to the south of Charlotte on Providence and Wendover Road, this delay is going to take you about 5 more minutes than it typically would. So be mindful of that, and I hope you have a great Monday.